Welcome to the World Warriors of Capcom Cup Players Showcase. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. It's the series of videos where we go over all 32 qualifiers of Capcom Cup 2015. They are all going to be gathering together in San Francisco to play at the PlayStation Experience on the weekend of December 5th through 6th. And if you don't know what the Capcom Pro Tour is or unfamiliar with Capcom Pro Tour, Capcom Cup, on this channel, youtube.com/Capcom Fighters TV. There's an intro video that we made for this whole thing, so you can watch that and see and learn everything that you need to know about the Capcom Pro Tour. But we are here to talk about the players.
That's right, and the one today is one of the most successful Street Fighter 4 players throughout Street Fighter 4, Fuudo, RZR Fuudo.
That's right. One of the most timid-looking guys. He's so small. He's he's not intimidating at all. He looks worried all the time. One of the scariest players in Street Fighter.
His gameplay is amazing. It's amazing.
His gameplay is terrifying.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. He won EVO 2011.
Yep.
So he's been one of the top-level players ever since then. There was a period of time when he sort of disappeared a little bit, but he is way back. Way back.
I mean, even in this year, it felt like he disappeared a little bit, and just, towards the end of 2015, he's really turned it up.
Well, he's really been traveling. So, like I said, EVO 2011 first, but then in the past about year, Southeast Asia Majors 2014, he got third. EVO 2014, he got third.
That's right.
If you recall. At DreamHack Winter 2014, he got first over GamerB, which was a heartbreak for GamerB. Last year, he was at Capcom Cup. He got 7th. So he was in the top half. Final round 18, he got 3rd. Then Stunfest 2015, he got 7th. Southeast Asia this year, he got 9th. EVO 2015, 17th. Sino Duel, 2nd. CPT Asia Shanghai, 7th. KO Fighting Game Festival, 2nd.
That's right.
Z Fighting Game Champion, 5th. Ultra Hyakushu Cup 9th, Milan Games Week 1st, and then most recently Canada Cup 2015, he got 2nd place.
That's right.
So that's a lot of success. That's a lot of top 8s, but interspersed in there were actually quite a few tournaments where he didn't do quite as well. SCR 2015, not that long ago, he got 25th, for example. Like I said, EVO, he got 17th. CEO this year, he got 13th. NCR this year, he got 17th. So there are some tournaments that he shows up to that he doesn't quite, get up to the very top. But most recently, the last two, 1st and 2nd place.
I mean, look, Fuudo is a grandmaster, right? I mean, from previous fighting games, he played. He's come from a varied fighting game background.
Oh yeah.
And some of the other fighting games that he played, he is considered a grandmaster.
Right.
In fact, in one series, he is one of the only people to become a grandmaster after already a bunch of the other grandmasters were already established. He is such a smart player. He is. He's really smart, and he's really, really good at reading opponents, and that is definitely one of his biggest strengths.
To me, his two biggest strengths are positioning, he to the dot, and reactions. And I think I've heard interviews from him where he even says his number one strength is his reactions. Yeah. His ability to just he will almost always confirm a counter hit into whatever he's looking for at the time. He will react to things that you don't even expect that he would react to, and he does. He whiff punishes things in a way that nobody else does. He will confirm Rekkas on one hit very easily, very consistently. So that is very tough to deal with because it means that for the opponents, there are effectively fewer mix-ups.
Right.
Things that would be a mix-up on somebody else, Fuudo just sees and reacts to.
Yeah,
that's tough to deal with.
I mean, look, one of the matches that Fuudo played that always sticks in my mind, and probably will always stick in my mind in terms of being ready for everything and never giving your opponent any opening, was the match that we actually analyzed for him last year, which was him versus Snake Eyes at EVO in 2014.
Right.
The spacing, the footsies, and the ability to never let Zangief jump in on him. Because that's how Zangief plays, was like, I play a ground game, you get obsessed with the ground game, I jump. And I catch you off guard because you've got a flash kick motion. I mean, you've got a flame kick motion, right? never worked. He never got in on Fuudo, through jump. And that was such a great match. I mean, if you guys check this channel, you could go back 1 year and check that one out. But I mean, he's such a solid player. Like, fundamentals is just so strong with him. And yeah, I mean, to me, honestly, the reason why I say he's terrifying is because I've always kind of personally put him on one of the top end of like scariest players to fight against. Like, if I was playing a tournament, there's some players that I might think might be better than Fuudo overall, but he's in the top of the list of guys that I just don't want to run into because you're not going to beat him with shenanigans and any kind of like tricks. It's just not going to work on him. You know what I mean? So there's just something intimidating.
He's very well practiced too. He has all the tech. He has option selects and he has all the things that he needs. His main character anyway, Fei Long, little bit nerfed in this version. Right. Still a very good character, but not quite as dominant in the mid range as he used to be. So Fuudo has, in some instances, gone with Seth. That's a secondary character of his. But I think in general, Fei is the character he almost always sticks with. And I just feel like that's the perfect character for him. It really is. It's a character that is excellent in footsies. He can walk to the right spot and then just control. And if you want to do something crazy, he can react to it. Yeah. I mean, that's what the character is. And he is the best at the character for that reason.
And Fei Long is also good at controlling where the opponent is on screen. Oh yeah. Every combo that leads into Rekka, you're in the corner there. Does he want a side switch? Goes for command throw. He has just so much ability to control what the opponent wants to do and where they go. So like you said, it's just a perfect fit for him. Like, that's just one of those player character marriages that was just like meant to be.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I definitely think you picked up the right one. Now, in this version, Elena is a counterpick to Fei. Okay, so that has been a little bit tougher for him, and a lot of people play that character. We'll see how that goes, I guess. In any case, we're not going to watch him play against an Elena right now. We're going to watch him play against Latif, which was actually a rematch from EVO 2011.
Right, the year that Fuudo won.
Exactly right. It was at KO Fighting Game Festival this year. Of course, Latif is living in Saudi Arabia, so that's how they met up there. This is in winners finals.
Yeah, Fuudo actually ends up getting second place overall in this tournament. Yeah. We will mention that Shin won that one, but Shin had already qualified at final round earlier that year, so Fuudo auto-qualified. That is not to say that he doesn't go and win a bunch of other events.
Yeah, I mean, he won Milan after that anyway, right.
So
he's in pretty legit.
But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting matchup because Latif is very active. That's how Vipers play. And so Fuudo has the ability to shut down characters and really turn it into a very kind of plodding, very slow-paced match. He's not going to be able to get that kind of control against Viper, but that just kind of showcases how good his reactions are, in this match, that he has to be able to deal with a character like Viper. So let's get into this here. Yeah, let's do this here. So there it is. Fuudo on the left, Latif on the right. And sure, like we said, this is winners finals, 3 out of 5.
This is Fuudo's style. So he obviously he will take risks now and then, but you saw him walk up and block before that. Walk up and blocks, just sort of going slowly.
Yeah, and again, this is the kind of thing that Fuudo's going to have to deal with all match long. Is just this crazy burn kick game.
You see him trying to whiff punish there. He gets it sometimes.
Oh yeah, and one of the most telltale things from Fuudo, and from actually a lot of Fei Longs, is if you see the Fei Long do quick low jab, stand jab. Because that's basically low jab into Rekka, and on whiff, that's just going to come out. On hit, it'll turn into the combo. But you're going to see that every so often.
It is a bit of an unusual match, of course. Fei Long wants to control the ground, wants to control footsies. Viper is definitely a far away or airborne or right up close character, so it's a bit of a weird matchup for him, but you can really see, at least coming up in a little bit, some of the reactions. Yeah, that down
fierce against low forward to get the whiff punish. Yeah, again, some great reactions from Fuudo. But as we mentioned, this is a rematch, and Latif didn't get second place at that Evo by accident.
Right.
Very, very strong player in his own right. Oh, there it is. Confirm counter hit on that low strong into Rekka every single time. It's just one of those things that I feel like as a Fei Long player is a skill that you have to learn is looking for that counter hit sign to come up, because he doesn't. Okay, so one of the things that to clarify about Fei Long is that he doesn't have a lot of bufferable moves. Now, of course, bufferable means you can cancel the normal move into a special move. His low strong doesn't work. His low forward doesn't work. It's like only close fierce, which is really close range, and the jabs and like standing strong, which goes over crouching characters and such. I think some crouching characters, but he doesn't have a lot of options to cancel into Rekkas. So he really has to recognize a lot of those counter hits to get into that situation. So, that is one of the things that you have to perfect as a Fei Long player.
So at this point, you can start to see Fuudo get a few more reads. I love the backdash there just to reset positioning. That's something he'll do oftentimes, not just in this matchup, but he'll back off to like max Rekka range and just control from there. Look for your jump and get anti-air DP oftentimes.
And there was one point where he whiffed the crouching fierce and Latif came right at him with the thunder knuckle. The next time he whiffed the crouch fierce, he neutral jumped and punished the thunder knuckle. It's just he recognizes everything that happens and it becomes data for him.
Yes.
So much. Woo!
Wow. That was instant.
I mean, look, that wasn't pure reaction.
Right.
He was ready for some, but
of
the
course.
fact that he did it so fast was ridiculous. He definitely is on the high end of the reaction scale when it comes to top players in this game.
Agreed.
I think that's another one of those reasons why that I just don't I would never want to go up against this guy. So yeah, Latif again, as we mentioned, very strong player, doing very well this round. But here comes Fuudo.
And I like the mobility in the meantime. There's just a lot of dashing around trying to find the exact spot. He found it. Now this is exactly where he wants to be.
Dude, yeah, he was looking for counter hit in the ultra there.
And he didn't do it because he saw there was no counter hit. That's an important side of doing the hit confirm, is the seeing that it didn't hit and deciding not to, in fact, do something.
And that was a really good closing sequence there. He went for that overhead with the perfect timing to get over EX Seismo. And after it hit, he knew it would be a scramble situation, and the best way to defuse a scramble situation, to a large part, is just do an uppercut, and it worked. So, that was
so good. You see him again. He was at that right spot, saw that she did bird kick. Okay, focus dash down jab.
Yep. It's so good. Oh yeah.
That's the power of finding those spots on screen and having the reactions to take advantage of them. That's why I love him with Faye.
Yeah, so one of the things that I like about this match that we chose to do this match is we do get to see Fuudo handling this kind of situation where the opponent is kind of the aggressor. Because another great neutral jump. Fuudo usually is the one that keeps his opponent in the corner all the time, and he controls the pacing. It's hard to do that against Viper. So it's just really interesting, especially in contrast to the match that we analyzed last year, where he just controlled the pace of the match the entire way. Yeah. And then now he has to deal with this, and we see that, so beautiful that he's so capable of handling this situation as well. So even if you try to rush him down, it's not going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, again, the backdash, he sees Viper do something, okay, whiff punish.
Yeah, so good.
And it's convincing Viper to sit still in the corner. I mean, how...
That was like the fourth time he just...
Oh, yeah, no. Exactly. It's not easy to convince a Viper to sit still. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes to do it who plays Viper.
Right.
They all like being mobile. Mm-hmm. But at this point, Fuudo has harassed Latif in such a way that you could see Latif blocking in the corner.
Yep.
Just hanging out. And he tried to get those moments with the thunder knuckle in there, but Fuudo just had the right moments for the backdash, the whiff punishes on reaction.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing, is a lot of times people will get this is obviously just one of the benefits of having Fei Long as a character, is the Rekka is a great whiff punish tool, especially for someone with the reactions of Fuudo. But, the fact that he baited it out like 3 or 4 times in that one round, just that one round is ridiculous. And, yeah, he's putting a little bit of a little bit of hesitation into Latif. You see him in character select. He's thinking about it a little bit, trying to gather himself, as a lot of players do when they come to the character select screen in between matches.
Fuudo just going with default color.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Well, one of the things, I mean, Latif obviously spent some time thinking about it. And, largely you see he's coming out very aggressive here. So it looks like a lot of what Latif thought about seems to be working at the start.
Right.
And so it's really...
He definitely wants to get away and start things off again. Yeah, you see, he got to a range where he could start with the burn kick again.
Yeah, it's definitely... that was nice, actually.
Oh, I really like how Latif adapts in this game because he does start to pick those farther away spots where he can attack from a little bit more consistently.
Yeah, and so, it's another one of those situations again where, we like to talk about how players overcome situations and stuff like that. So Latif now all of a sudden super aggressive here, and so Fuudo kind of on his heels after that first round. So it's one of those, oh, yeah, that was an execution error.
Yeah, Fuudo's definitely not going to miss that. He's not going to let that go.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's always fascinating to me to see how players react to those comeback potentials from people. So, yeah, safe on block. And there's that low jab, stand jab.
Mm-hmm. Just in case.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Big damage here from Latif.
Yeah, that's a pretty good buff for Viper.
Yeah, Viper, for all intents and purposes, got better in this version, and Fei Long got nerfed, so... Yeah, good stuff from Latif. And see, again, this is an interesting... Look at Latif. You can tell that he's really encouraged by that. He's like, I got this. You can see that kind of confident little okay, we're in there. I'm getting to grand finals.
Of course, that was Latif in the white, and you could see Fuudo just to the right of him.
Yeah. And so, again, how do you react to this? How do you recover from something like that where it looks like the opponent figured something out?
Well, check out the range that Fuudo is fighting from. He is even farther away. Well, he was while he was trying to do what he wanted to do. He was even farther away than Viper was in the previous round. So that's sort of his counter adaptation there.
Mm-hmm. And he's just hitting less buttons. Like he blocked a really long sequence and then finally got that throw in there. Finally got the whiff jab.
Hey, see this range now?
Yeah.
A little bit farther. Oh, the whiff punish on crouching medium kick.
Oh, Fuudo. Oh, see, good whiff punish reactions there again. Ooh, yeah. It's hard to train Vipers to sit still, like you said.
Well, he's done it all right. I mean, not that one time, but he's gotten it quite a few times.
Yep.
Just get Latif to sit. So unfortunate for Latif, he puts himself into the corner. Again, that is exactly where Fuudo wants to be.
And here we go, Fuudo. Oh, so scary. And, he convinced him to stay still.
I'm telling you, after all that harassment. So, yeah, you see Fuudo with the glasses.
Look at that smile on his face.
Yeah, I love that he's willing to take those risks. We haven't talked too much about his risk-taking, but a lot of his bets are excellent, glorious bets.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we've often talked about other players like even Bonchan, Ryan Hart, a lot of these guys, that they're willing to kind of take these big risks in these moments and stuff like that. It's really interesting because Fuudo doesn't take as many big risks, but whenever he does, they're always like they work.
Right.
He has the right moments.
Well, he just doesn't put himself in those moments, in those situations very often, and he is often in control of when they come up.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big strength for him.
And here we go right now. Yeah, Latif bets it on that.
Yeah.
That's going to do it, and Latif is sent to loser's bracket. Fuudo gets to grand finals here, as we said. In this event, what's going to happen is that Xian is going to come all the way up from there, and he's actually going to defeat Fuudo in grand finals from the loser side bracket. But again, we already just mentioned now that Fuudo is doing really well recently. So even though he lost to Xian in that tournament, he then won the Milan tournament and got second place. Over Xian. And then got second place at Canada Cup just now. So, yeah. it's interesting because, you talked a little bit about how it looked like he kind of disappeared a little bit. I even felt a little bit that way when you're going through his results. You mentioned like NCR didn't do great. And so, some of these other events, he obviously did great, just not what we would expect to come out of Fuudo. But this close of the year, I really feel like he's really, like he must be sitting down and practicing a lot for Capcom Cup.
He's definitely getting in gear at the right time.
Yeah.
Definitely getting in gear at the right time. And he's working on the matchups. I mentioned Elena. Everybody's playing Elena now.
Yeah.
And that character does very well against Fei Long. She just controls the mid-range better than he does, which is 80% of his character.
Yeah. Fei Long is about that strength of controlling that one space, and Elena wins that space against Fei Long. Yeah.
Exactly. But the last time he played against Shen at Milan, Shen tried Elena, and it didn't work against Fuudo.
Okay.
So, I mean, he has gotten way better at that matchup. And, we've seen him play, even at Canada Cup, we saw him play against some Elenas, and he won. So he has been just on a tear, and I feel like he's a big threat. So, if you had to name something that you think is in his way, what would you say?
I think you put it perfectly.
Yeah.
Elena.
It's Elena. Everybody plays Elena.
Everybody plays Elena now. I mean, look, Elena, there's a reason why, some top players have rated her the highest tier.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that she is the strongest of characters, but she wins so many important matchups. One of them is Fei Long, and it is a bad matchup. It's a really bad matchup. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, at EVO, I think Fuudo might have lost to Elena as well. I just remember at EVO there was a lot of Fei Longs that had problems with Elena in that situation. Because like I said, it's a bad matchup. So if he can either avoid the Elenas or figure out how to defeat the Elenas, that's going to be one of the keys. He really has to study that matchup. Or, I mean, look, like you said, he's tried Seth before.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a great fit for him, character-wise.
It seems very strange to me, but that's cool.
But, I mean, if that's who he wants to use to fight Elena, then he's really got to practice that up because, Elena's going to be his biggest obstacle.
Yeah, well, I do think that he's been doing better against that character lately, but we'll see if Elena's make the counter-adaptation, Yeah, I think that is the biggest thing.
Well, what do you think is going to be the key to him winning Capcom Cup?
I just think if he plays his game. I mean, he is one of the best players in the world. He has been one of the top level, highest tier Street Fighter 4 players for years. And I don't think that he has to do anything that is out of what he is capable of and has done in the past. I think he just needs to play very similarly to how he did in Milan recently and Canada Cup recently, and there's no reason to think that he won't, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's not a lot of players in the history of the Street Fighter 4 series that have won EVO and then another year made top 3 at EVO.
Right.
He's on the short list of that. I think there might be 2 people, him and Infiltration. That's a really good list of people. That's a really good list to be on. That's a lot of good players there. So, yeah, I just don't see any reason why he isn't one of the biggest threats at Capcom Cup.
Yes, I think that's right. I think that he is, in fact, if I were to predict, I think he's one of the biggest threats out there. I think people should not want to get matched up against Fuudo. If they can avoid it in whatever way, based on the standings, you definitely don't want to go up against Fuudo. He can beat anybody.
Yeah.
He can beat everybody.
And like just all around top player. Obviously, it's going to be a struggle for most of the players. I would not bet on any single player over the field. But Fuudo definitely has to be one of those high picks, especially like the reason why I can feel so confident saying that is because of what he did at Milan and Canada Cup.
Yeah, right.
He looked so strong at Canada Cup.
And
it took a Tokido playing out of his mind to beat Fuudo at that event. You know what I mean? That was like Tokido on another level.
I think that's the best I've seen Tokido play in Ultra, for sure, but maybe in any SF4.
Right, exactly. And that's what it took to beat Fuudo. So otherwise, he would have won 2 premier events in a row. And so he's on a hot streak. He is on a hot streak, and if he can keep that up, if he can keep up his game plan, if he can stay conditioned and focused, there's just I predict him doing really well. Doing really well.
I agree with that. We'll see if it happens. That's going to be at the Capcom Cup, which is at the PlayStation Experience, which is December 5th through 6th in San Francisco.
That's right. If you can make it there, to the PlayStation Experience, you do not want to miss this. It's going to be an awesome live event. Of course, if you can't make it, no problems. Just watch on twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters. So definitely give them a follow so you'll get news as soon as it starts up.
I also recommend following Capcom Fighters on Twitter, which is at Capcom Fighters. And of course, you're watching this YouTube video, so you must know about the channel, but it's youtube.com/Capcom Fighters TV. Again, give them a subscribe.
Right. And if you like what we're doing here, kind of doing analysis and such like that, you can also give us a follow on twitch.tv and youtube.com/UltraChenTV.
And follow us on Twitter also at UltraChenTV.
Yep, we do a lot of analysis. We do a show every Tuesday where we just talk about all the hot topics and what, we cover recent tournament results, preview upcoming events,
right,
and just talk about game news and such. So lots of really cool FGC news and information.
All right. Well, again, the Canada Cup at the PlayStation Experience, December 5th through 6th.
Capcom Cup.
At Capcom Cup, excuse me. That's right. All right. Well, we'll see you there.